Welcome to Governance Policies and You. And this morning we're going to be talking again with our team member who's going to be joining us in just a moment. A very good morning and welcome once again to our feature program, Governance Policies and You. We have Shena Stubbs Gibson, who is going to be sharing with us. Good morning, Sheena.
Good morning, Nadine. Good morning, listeners.
And it's another morning. We're going to be talking again about, I think we're continuing on the NIS, right?
NHD.
NHT. Okay. All
We're
right.
just going to answer a few of the questions from NHD. We have been doing the NHD about 3 sessions now, and I want to move to today to pension. That's the regular pension that's paid through the Accountant General Department. And this is an issue that affects so many retired government workers. So I want to touch on that. I know that area has a lot of questions because the Accountant General Department is very hard to read. So there's always a lot of questions. We are continuing from where we left off last week. Last week we were talking about the NHD, and there was some feedback, and I wanted to just start with that feedback, and then we will move on to talk in the little time that we have about the pension that's paid to government workers. So one person wrote to you last week and asked for my number. She said that her daughter lives overseas and wants to make a contribution to NHD. I did go over that last week, and I did last week and the week before how persons who are living overseas can make contributions. From time to time, persons get my number through you, Nadine.
Yes.
And they call during the course of the day. Many times I'm in meeting with clients. It's best that person send me a WhatsApp.
Okay.
Because invariably I have to ask them
to call back, right? So what I will do, I will just send that message to them as well to remind them. Yes. Use this as a WhatsApp or text or regular text.
Doing an actual call.
Okay.
I'm in
meetings are.
So if this lady WhatsApp me, I can send her the information about that I shared, but I don't want to go over it again, or we'll never move on because persons are always coming with questions that we have looked at already. So if she sends me a WhatsApp, I'll send her the information on how our daughter can sign up to become a contributor, even though she's overseas.
Right.
She also said that she paid, she thought that she was paying NHD through a company that she worked with for over 10 years. And when she went to NHD, she was told that there was only 1 year's contribution there for her. These are some of the unfortunate cases that you hear about out there, which is why I'm suggesting that anyone that listens to this program on a Friday morning and has heard me speak to you on this issue about NIS and NHD, now just put it in your agenda to call once a year to ensure that your returns are being paid.
Right.
Because you don't want to end up in a situation like this where you think you're paying for 10 years, and then when you really need the benefit, you realize that only 1 year's contribution.
Right.
There's not much that can be done, as I say, that is except for them to try to go after the employer. And hopefully at that stage, the employer is even still around for one to be able to go after them.
Wow.
Someone said that another person said that she had filled out her NIS card for the year 2021 already. And she wanted to know if she can carry it in or she has to wait until December to take it in. I can't imagine why you wouldn't be able to take it in already, because it's completely filled out, and that means that all the necessary funds have been paid. Go ahead and try it and see if they will take it. I would encourage you to go ahead and try. Another person said to you that she had been trying to fill out for the NHD refund form online, but the company that she works with wasn't coming up. There could be 2 reasons for that. it could of course be that the company wasn't contributing, but more than likely, especially if it's a well-established company, it could just be that you've gotten the name of the company right. There's a company that I worked with in the past. Whenever I go on each year, I have to try to remember how to
put the name.
Put its name, right? Because like some company will have like a Z in front, or you're used to it as Z, and some may not. And on the NIHD system, it may not have the Z, or the converse could also be true. So try different combinations and see if that works. And if ultimately all the combinations that you can think of are not working, then get in touch with NIHD and hear what they have to say.
Right.
Right?
Wow.
As I said, so now I'm going to move on to talk about the government pension, which is what persons who have worked with the government in a capacity, in any capacity. If you were an employee of the government and you got to an age where you are retired or some other particular circumstances, then you get a pension. And from time to time, you hear persons calling with their programs and complaining about it. Or persons will, sometimes I do my columns and persons will write and ask, like, how do I get a pension if I can get it at a particular age? Now, the pension is regulated in Jamaica under the Pension Act and some other legislation. And it says that a person having at least 10 years, continuous service.
10 years continued service.
At least 10 years, right? Continuous service may retire on one or more of the following conditions, and this information is information that I got from the AGD itself, from the website.
Right.
Now, the information on the website says that you can retire on reaching the age of 55 or special circumstances, the age of 50. I don't think this information is up to date because the age of retirement is recently,
right?
About 2 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago. So I'm surprised that this information is still saying this. So persons who think that they fall in the category of 55 or 50 and may be interested in saying, oh, well, I could get, I am able to access this. They want to double check this information to see if it is actually accurate. So also, once you achieve those the retirement age, whether it be 55 or 60 or 65, then right. Once you get to what is the acceptable retirement age, of course, that's one area in which you will be, one circumstance in which you will be able to access this particular pension, right? If you also, in case of transfer to other public service, so if you get transferred within the public service, in circumstances in which it is permitted by the law or regulations applicable to that service to retire on a pension. So sometimes persons get transferred and there are laws which say that if you get transferred in this particular scenario, you would be entitled for it to be treated as retirement on a pension. So that would also be a particular situation in which you would be entitled on a transfer in particular instances to retire on a pension. On medical evidence, of course, that you're incapable of discharging your duties. So even if you have not arrived at the retirement age as yet, so you have not arrived at the age of 65 or the age of 70 or the early retirement age of 60, if that hasn't happened, there are provisions if you are incapacitated.
Right.
Maybe you met in a motor vehicle accident, maybe you have glaucoma and you have become blind. I've heard of situations like that and you're unable to work anymore. You can, in such a situation, with the approval of the Governor General, so what you would do is go to your HR department,
okay,
and would use the necessary evidence to show that you're incapable of working anymore because of your physical malady.
Right.
And when that happens, you would also be entitled, you would be one of the persons that would be entitled to get to go on a pension, right?
Okay.
If the position that you work in, the office that you work in, if it has been abolished and will not be replaced, that would also entitle you to go on a pension.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe there's an interesting one that says on retirement in the public interest.
In the public interest. Oh.
Sometimes you hear that with the police officers and stuff. But, this is a pretty wide one. But I think, I think it would be sad if you have to be retired in the public interest. Mm-hmm. But this would be a situation as well in which someone could be entitled to receive their pension. You know that there is discretion that one has to apply for early retirement.
Right.
As I said, that would usually be the age of 55, and in some special circumstances, 50. Those ages now, to the best of my information, has been increased by 5 years. Mm-hmm. So you can just double check if you're 55 or 50 and would want to take advantage of that. Mm-hmm. Double check to see if that still applies to you. Because my information is that has been those years. They add on another 50 special circumstance, early retirement, but 55, it's now 60. But you want to double check that. Don't take my word on this as gospel because I'm seeing it on the website. So I don't want to contradict what's on the website.
Right.
So I want to say double check that, right? As it pertains to pension now, because this is an era, we're going to stay on this for a couple of weeks.
Well, we have about 3 minutes left.
There's just so much to talk about.
I know.
On this era, right? So, for the next 3 minutes, I am just going to say how they do the calculation of pension. Mm-hmm. Calculation of pension. Pension is calculated at the rate of 1 over 540. So 1/540th of your pensionable emolument. Mm-hmm. So whatever pensionable salary or payment income you would have been receiving at the date of your retirement, they use that 1 over 540 of that multiplied by each complete month of pensionable service. So if you did 10 years, and out of that each 10, it would be 10 years times 12 months, so that would be 120 months. So it's 1 over 540 times your pensionable emolument.
It's a whole heap of math. Is a lot of math you're giving today, miss.
Yeah, for those persons who are interested in that kind of thing.
Yes.
If somebody just wants to sit down and check up and see what kind of money they should be receiving.
Right.
So for that kind of listener, it's not that hard actually. It's just 1 over 540 multiplied by your pensionable salary at the date of retirement, and you multiply that by the number of years of service. Right. Do we have any time left?
We have, let me see. Literally 1 minute. So this is time to wrap up. The time goes by so quickly. I think one day we should have a special where we just talk for like an hour. But yes, thank you.
Yes, we're going to have to try to have if we can book in a half an hour. So.
There's so much information, I'm telling you, and I keep hearing over and over. Let me turn on my camera now. I keep hearing over and over that persons, like somebody is writing now on Facebook that it's very unfortunate. I work with a company some years ago who withdraw tax but didn't pay it. And when I went to MIS to pay independently, they wouldn't do it. Well, NIS. Listen, one of the things that Sheena mentioned that I will repeat here and reiterate is every now and again, just call NIS, call the tax office, just say, I'm checking, I'm making sure that my taxes or the withdrawals are being done. And call, just, yeah, do it. You know, if you give no whole heap of information. Because you don't want to, when you retire and all of that, then you hear, oh, nothing was being paid over for you. So, so sad. We have to do better.
Make sure your child can live life to the fullest. Apply for a Satchel Life